Thaniel is resting, but it's no easy slumber. I discovered what's wrong with him. The shadows rendered him in two when they bore him away to the Shadowfell. Half of his essence remained here, amidst the curse. What stayed behind would have been the strongest part of him. But after all these years left in the darkness, corruption must have taken hold. It's both simple and not. We need to find Thaniel's missing half and make him whole again. Only the missing half may not come willingly. The curse will have sunk its tendrils deep, twisting Thaniel's essence into something else. And you saw this boy yourself. That can't be a coincidence, but we need to be sure. And I truly mean we, if you wish. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side. Let me help you then. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side. If you want me, I'm yours. Against the curse, against the absolute. Anything. Just say the word. An unwieldy number. You must cut someone loose before I can join you. I'm with you. Oakfather preserve you. Only by a reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Would she have helped the refugees? Defended the Grove? Controlled Korga? At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is. So do I. But one duty at a time. Given the circumstances, you're faring as well as can be expected, I suppose. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. It's a natural question, but I don't have a good answer, I'm afraid. Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in High Forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The Grove became my family, with Sylvanas as my teacher. And now I have you. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected. 350 years young. I've been privileged to watch saplings grow into mighty boughs. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand. But as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. Anytime. Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shar. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the Shadows. Became part of the Shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning. You are right, but I must not lose focus until everything has been put right. I've wasted too much time already. Years in which nature has suffered.
I want to thank you for what you said whilst I was in front of that vile drow. I spent 200 years using my body to lure pretty things back from my master. What I wanted, how I felt about what I was doing, it never mattered. You could have asked me to do the same. To throw myself at her. What I wanted, be damned. But you didn't. And I'm grateful. It's been so long since I've had to make these decisions for myself. I won't lie, it's a daunting prospect. It would have been so easy to bite her, to just go along with what I was being told to do. A moment of disgust to force myself through, and then I could have carried on just like before. Well, of course. I needed protection. People don't trust vampires, perhaps understandably, so I needed to get someone on my side. And seducing you was easy, frankly. So imagine how stupid I felt when I started to genuinely feel something for you. Trust me, I was not happy about it. You were a complication I didn't see coming. And yet... Really? You're full of surprises, aren't you? Honestly, I have no idea what we're doing. Or what comes next. But I know that this is nice. I think I'll enjoy traveling with Halsin. Not for his wit or wisdom. He'll just make an excellent shield if we're attacked. I was just wondering when you'd invite me back for a bite. Can we? I suppose we can. How could I say no? Delicious. I don't know. But isn't it nice not to know? You're not a victim. Not a target. Not just one night it's better to forget. But then... whatever in the world could you be?
A savvy move recruiting Halsin to our cause. While I'm adept at most forms of weave manipulation, druidic magic is not my area of expertise. He will make for a most useful option to have in reserve. Thought you would show me the respect of telling me first, but no matter. You can tell me now. Who is it to be? Me or him? I'm sorry. But to know I had less than the whole of your heart, I can't do it. Not when I would give all of myself to you. Call me greedy, stubborn, old-fashioned. But I cannot change who I am, or how I love. In any case, know that I harbor no ill will. I would rather see you happy with another than not happy at all. You are a very cone of cold. A savvy move recruiting Halsin to our cause. While I'm adept at most forms of weave manipulation, druidic magic is not my area of expertise. He will make for a most useful option to have in reserve. thought you would show me the respect of telling me first, but no matter. You can tell me now. Who is it to be? Me or him? I'm sorry. But to know I had less than the whole of your heart, I can't do it. No one I would give all of myself to you. Call me greedy, stubborn, old-fashioned. But I cannot change who I am, or how I love. In any case, know that I harbor no ill will. I would rather see you happy with another than not happy at all. Don't apologize. You must not deny your heart's desire. I would not want you to. I won't leave. Not unless you want me to, or until fate forces my hand. If your friendship is all we have, then I will be happy to have it. Eventually. I could no more hate you than I could go without air.
Halsin's proved himself a fine ally already. He'll be useful in battle, if those tree trunk arms are an indication. So you noticed? Yes, you caught my eye. You've caught someone else's too. I'm sure you'll please each other quite thoroughly. I'd never thought Vlaakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlaakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlaakith to true godhood.